There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. We're back after a kind of long hiatus from severe weather. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman here alongside Ryan, your Michigan Storm Chasers. We got a severe thunderstorm warning. What better place than the thumb once again here in the eastern side of the state, lower Michigan. This cell has formed off the lake breeze this afternoon. And we'll go ahead and read off this information as it comes in. Feel free to hit that like button as well and let us know where you're watching from today. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 4:45 p.m. for south central Huron County. At 3:50 p.m., a severe thunderstorm is located over Owendale or 10 miles north of Cass City, and this is moving east at approximately 5 miles per hour. Hazards are 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail, so it is severe for both hail and damaging winds. Impact says hail damage to vehicles is expected. Wind damage to roof siding and trees also expected. Severe thunderstorm will remain over rural areas of southwestern Huron County, including the following locations of Ivanhoe and Bach. Free protection moved to interior room on the lowest floor of a building, and torrential rainfall is also occurring with this storm. So again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Huron County in the thumb, and this is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail here on this Thursday afternoon, August 7th.
Is my audio good?
Whoa. I hear 17 Ryans right now. Mute your mute your source on video.
It is.
What is it coming through? Holy echo. You can't speak, otherwise there's gonna be so many Ryans. Why is it doing that? I'm trying to think how many sources we have coming through here. I've muted your stream cam. Do I have to mute you on? No, because you're coming through Discord. Oh, hold on. Are you coming through somewhere else? Is there anything you can do on your end, Ryan? Well, while he's trying to figure out that, we'll go ahead and look at the 3D scan of the storm behind the scenes here. I will say this, there is a hail core of up to 35,000 feet that just popped up, and it looks like it is traveling towards the ground now. We'll go ahead and confirm this via ZDR, and there is quite a low ZDR reading right now directly in the Owendale region. Where you see these grays, this is on our ZDR radar, that is where there's a basically negative buoyancy ongoing, so there's a collapsing downdraft. So downtown and east side of Owendale, looks like that hail core is falling out right now. So if you are in Owendale, and this is heading off to the east southeast about 5 miles per hour, so rural portions of Huron County eventually towards Van Dyke Road, which is M53. Be on alert for 1-inch hail as well as some gusty winds as this core is now collapsing. As we loop it here, you can see just how slowly this storm is moving, formed on that lake breeze, and is just gradually drifting off to the east. You could probably run faster than the storm is moving, although we do not encourage you guys to outrun a storm. In this case, you definitely could if you gave it an attempt on foot. Nevertheless, the storm is going to continue towards the county line of Huron and Sanilac counties, maybe quickly traverse into Tuscola County as well, but this is mainly going to stay in portions of rural Huron and Sanilac County over the coming hour. So what you're saying is I can outrun it on my moped? Yes, Ben, you definitely could. Besides this severe thunderstorm warning, which is currently ongoing in the thumb, we do have a couple cells popping up in Lapeer County, as well as mainly in northern Michigan. At the current time, a couple cells up in the Alpena region, as well as in Presque Isle and Alcona counties. There was a special weather statement for Montmorency and Alpena County earlier for 40-mile-per-hour winds and pea-sized hail. That has expired. And up in the UP, we are also watching a couple cells traversing right down the Lake Superior shoreline, heading towards Whitefish Point and Paradise eventually. They're going to kind of just meander along the shoreline, so we'll have to watch for any statements and warnings up here. But at the current time, large hail is possible in these cells offshore of Luce County. But the only warning in the state at the current time is in the thumb of Michigan. If you are anywhere else in the state, there is no severe weather for you at the current time. Specifically for the cell that is near Owendale, Gagetown, and Bach. And the storm is continuing off to the east, as we mentioned, at 5 miles per hour.
Test.
You must be coming through a different source here, Ryan. I'm not sure where.
Test.
I can hear 17 of you right now.
Same.
What could it be? I see you're muted on Discord now. Ryan, feel free to try speaking now. Not hearing you. Lizard, yeah, it's kind of like the lizard meme. We'll have to... Oh, hold on. That could be it, Ryan. Give me 1 sec. Audio. Settings. Switch it back. Try having Ryan leave and come back in. I mean, maybe. It's a good thing we don't have one.
Test.
Nope, still got 17 of you. Goodness. No, I can't hear you. Try now. Actually.
Test.
I can hear... Did anyone else hear more than one Ryan there just now?
Fix it on my end.
I think it fixed on my... I think I know what I did. Let us know how many Ryans you just heard there. Perfect, one Ryan. All right, Ryan, now you can speak.
Yay. I'm hungry. I'll be back.
Oh my gosh. Only the original Ryan. Perfect. I had it on monitor and output, the main source, so it just kept reverbing over itself like you kind of said. He's out of mic jail. Yes, he is. I released him. The hail core, by the way, for the storm that is currently severe warned near Owendale and Gagetown, is now down to 30,000 feet and collapsing quickly. So if you are in Owendale and still to the east of Owendale, likely having some good hail falling right now. I'm not sure if it's going to be up to an inch. That is where your reports will come in for everyone that's watching out here in the thumb today. Let us know what you're seeing. Feel free to tag us in the comments on one of our posts, specifically ones on a post that's not our live stream, so that way we can actually see it. Because if you post any comments that have photos here in the live stream, we won't be able to see them. So go to one of our other posts on Facebook. Feel free to do that. You can also message them to us or submit them in our Facebook group page called Michigan Weather Reports. And that's for all of your severe weather reports that you want to send in. And that does include hail, so make sure when you do submit in hail reports to do a measurement on those hailstones when it is safe to do so, of course. The old multi-Ryan might be useful for particularly dangerous warnings. I mean, that would get some attention, yeah.
My screen should be sharing as well. I got Radar Omega pulled up here. Aside from the storms in the thumb, we also have storms up here ongoing up in Presque County, as well as portions of Montmorency and Alpena County. Got some showers popped up here as well down by Oscoda and Alcona counties. West side of the state, you guys are currently clear of any showers or storms. And in the UP, we have a couple areas that have gotten storms up here, specifically Alger County, and now portions of Luce County now getting in on some shower action, but overall no storm activity further north at this current time. It's all on Lake Superior.
What's the VIL look like on that cell, Ryan? Curious, because there's really big core on that right now. Holy cow.
It is pretty much maxed out on Omega here. Looks like GR2 is also suggesting the hail size is upwards of 1.5 inches. Obviously, that's not a confirmed size. It's just kind of like an AI guesstimate. But likely some bigger hail falling here with this cell. And that hail core is easily up to 30,000 feet, if not a bit over that. Yeah, it looks like that's a nice 55 dBz up to about 36,000 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Nice core on that. It's going to be over places like Owendale, Linkville, Popple, and Ivanhoe. Center of this is going to be over Sebring Road and Elkton Road areas.
I'm going to go ahead and bring my radar back in here because on the bottom right, I've 4-paneled this. The bottom right is our correlation coefficient product, and what we're seeing right now is actually a third body scatter spike from this hail core. Usually a third body scatter spike is indicated by some blues on the back side of the storm from the radar beam. So in this instance, the radar beam is off to the south. It's in Pontiac. And so this beam is shooting up to the north. And what's happening is that beam is reflecting off these very large hailstones and causing some very funky returns. Obviously, when you have blues, that means non-uniform meteorological objects hovering around the atmosphere. But because they're so large, it kind of causes that data to get even more extreme in a way. And so that's what we're seeing here. It's called a third body scatter spike on the backside of the storm, and it is usually a sign of some very large hail. Might not be falling, but tumbling around the atmosphere a couple thousand feet up above our heads here in Owendale. So keep that in mind. 1-inch hail likely here, as this is a severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, but it could be higher if this continues to increase and stay suspended in midair. Although at the current time, our ZDR radar continues to show that this is a collapsing thunderstorm, which means that hail should be falling out now, if not in the next couple of minutes. This is a very rural portion of Michigan. So if anyone is watching from out here in the thumb near Owendale, feel free to let us know what is going on. DBZ is back up to 68 now to the east of Owendale.
Yeah, look at the hail core size here on my GR2. It now says, oh, never mind. I'm looking at an old scan. Never mind.
Yeah, still 30,000 feet plus on this on the 3D scan. Reminder, the taller that core is, the more likely for supercooled liquid to formulate into ice crystals. And so when we have 30,000 feet tumbling around in temperatures that are well below freezing, that will cause some large hail to fall. And that is why we have that severe thunderstorm warning out there this afternoon. As the storm continues off to the east, southeast, about 5 miles per hour, we could see an extension of the severe thunderstorm warning into perhaps the northeast corner of Tuscola County. Otherwise, we will see a warning pop up for Sanilac County. You have a new statement coming in?
Yeah, waiting for the information on that. I guess probably pea-sized hail in 30 or so.
Oh, wow. Someone, we have a guy by the name of Jack in our comments on our severe thunderstorm warning post. Posted a picture of the core as he was going into Owendale, and you can definitely see how intense that rain is falling given the low visibility. And on top of that, you can see some white that is falling from the sky, which that would be some hail. So very, very cool photo. Jack, if you're watching, thank you for sending that in.
The statement is going to be for the south and east corner of Presque-Isle County. It's going to be for 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. Places included Metz Township, Hawks, Posen, and Pulaski, as well as Lear areas. This is moving off to the east here at roughly 10 miles per hour. It says moving northeast at 25, but this storm movement is very, very slow today.
And it's back.
I have to imagine with these showers backbuilding and also moving very slowly comes a risk for some localized flooding in these areas as well.
Just getting the audio pulled up behind the scenes here. I don't know if you heard that or not. Okay. Audio was working for the alerts, and then as soon as the first warning came in. Let me go ahead and pull my cam back for the radar. Boundary is pulling the storm even further south now, closer to Gagetown and Cass City. So we can easily see a warning extend into Tuscola County as the storm progresses off to the southeast now as well. So we're thinking Sanilac, but at the current time we could also see this include northeast Tuscola County, which would include Cass City. So the region around M81 and M53 is kind of where the storm is headed. That cell down in Lapeer County has provided a little bit of a downburst. Not too crazy at the current time. We'll keep an eye on it. Speaking of downbursts, looks like we have one in the backside of the storm about 3 to 4 miles outside of Owendale. Once again, kind of falling in the same location. That would make sense given ZDR continues to show negative buoyancy, which means the storm is continuing to billow up and collapse on itself rather quickly. Take another 3D scan, see if it's updated. That core is collapsing down to 20,000 feet now. So it looks like it's hailing itself out, and this will return to more of a all-rain, torrential rainfall and gusty wind threat, either right now or in the next couple of minutes.
Also want to mention there's a nice little cell that's popping up in central Lapeer County. at the current time. Going to be over 5 Lakes and Kings Mill area. I'll have to watch that carefully. Now, severe weather shouldn't be very widespread today. Any instances of it will be probably isolated and short-lived in nature. But of course, with these summertime pop-up days, we can never rule out a strong, perhaps severe storm. Not uncommon in the summertime setups. We'll say the warning has been trimmed. It's now for the extreme south central portion of Huron County. It really got trimmed back there. Includes places like Owendale, Bach, Ivanhoe, M53 between the county line up to about Popple, which I'm sure is probably not a town, but perhaps a township or a population center, maybe.
Yeah, we've been mentioning this throughout the week. Again, with our high pressure that was settling into the region over the last week, we had a lot of flow out of the northwest, and that was allowing wildfire smoke to filter in. And now that high pressure has moved out, we have more of a south wind now, so it's bringing in a lot more moisture, a lot more chances for strong to severe storms, and we are currently seeing that out there today. With the influence of lake breezes, of course, that is an extra little bit of like oomph for these storms to kind of get up and going. And so that lake breeze formed right off of Lake Huron, the Saginaw Bay, and popped up rather quickly and went to severe limits. So we will continue to watch out for this storm and other storms this afternoon, as they will likely exhibit the same sort of behavior. And this whole theme of pop-up storms will continue throughout the weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, temperatures close to, if not over 90 degrees, with heat indices very close to 100 over the next couple of days. Not everyone, there could be a couple of hundreds in there, but most places will see high 90s for heat indices. And again, with a lot of moisture also coupled in with that, that will result in pop-up storms throughout the weekend in random spots. So something to keep in mind throughout today, and not only today, over the next 3 days to 4 days as well. I do believe we have a cold front coming through Sunday into Monday, and that will bring less humidity in temporarily and cause these pop-up storms to become less frequent. So we have to make it through the weekend. Unfortunately, it falls on a weekend here where people want to get outside and enjoy that fresh air. But again, the weather does not run on a schedule.
See a comment here in chat from Calebin. Says, holy crap, the hail was insane in Owendale. If you could expand on that and let us know how big that hail was, let us know. Always try to be as specific as possible with your reports, whether it's wind, hail, damage. Try to be as specific as possible because, hey, there's hail there. Like, how big? Because that matters in terms of severe and warnings and stuff like that. So if you could always try to do your best to be as specific as you can with the info you have, that's preferred. Yep, thank you, Calebin. It says pea-sized.
Probably looks like snow in a way.
Yeah, I'll probably assume there's a lot of it up there. I'm also keeping a close eye on our weather reports group on Facebook. If you guys have reports or pictures of anything storm, hail related, feel free to drop it over in our group, Michigan Weather Reports.
Looks like we have a report coming in from Lapeer in our messenger, Ryan, on that other cell. Not sure what that's about.
I'll take a peek at it.
For those just tuning in, the only severe warning in the state right now is currently in Huron County. Could see an extension down to Tuscola and Sanilac within the next couple of minutes, as that warning has been trimmed south. And there is a statement in Presque-Isle County, which is in northeast lower, to the north of Alpena for 40-mile-per-hour winds and some pea-sized hail. Half-inch hail. That is heading into Posen and Presque-Isle itself in the coming half hour. Our special marine warning for Luce County has been canceled. These cells that were rather strong have now weakened to a point where they no longer need a special marine warning. So good news there. Bad news is we're still live for ongoing severe weather, and this is currently tracking over rural portions of Huron County into Gagetown very soon, and perhaps Cass City if it continues to sag a little bit to the south. I hate to ask, Ryan, but any update on the Harbor Beach cam?
Yeah, it's apparently there's a bit of a widespread internet outage up in the Harbor Beach area, so it's not a camera issue. Unfortunately, it's just not online.
Gotcha. So the next closest cam we have right now would be probably Imlay City, right?
Yeah, south facing.
South facing, yeah.
I do have Grand Blanc pulled up here. There's a shower that is passing very close to that camera. It's very weak in nature. If you look on radar by Grand Blanc, it's very, very light at this point. It's nothing organized at all. So, got a camera here on Grand Blanc from Apex Restoration. This is south facing. Got the whole network set up here. Keeping an eye on things today.
Now we're up to 28 now, I believe, right, Ryan? 26 have been announced.
We have, 28 locations. We have, I think, 31 cameras in total. 30 or 31 in total.
Gotcha. It's growing fast.
Indeed it has.
We will always take more cameras. So if you know anyone or if you yourself have a good clear location anywhere in the state, we will gladly take any location, honestly. If we have multiple cameras in the same county, it is what it is. If you guys have unique views, let us know. And you can send Ryan an email here, ryan@michiganstormchasers.com, if you would like to sponsor a camera.
Speaking of cameras in the same counties, currently Lenawee County is the big winner out of all 83 of our counties. Happens to be my home county as well. We have 4 cameras in the county currently, with a 5th slated for install, potentially a 6th or 7th coming very soon. So we're about to have 6 or 7 cameras in one county, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing either. The more cameras we have, the better off we're going to be. So not going to complain by that at all.
Storm is continuing to move south, but there's not much we can really say other than it is moving south and it is moving about 5 miles per hour. And it is in rural portions of Huron County. Not many locations that is being impacted. Let's see what correlation coefficient has to say. Yeah, it looks like that core has gone down. You can see that third body scatter spike. That was that big blue area on the backside of the storm has now decreased to a point where it is no longer a concern. Could be some lighter hail falling now close to the M53 corridor, I believe that is, Van Dyke Road. And latest scan continues to decrease that. So maybe some light hail falling McAlpine Road near M53. Nothing that is close to severe limits. Also checking in on the wind. And not seeing anything overly concerning. Looks like our downburst occurred about 10 to 15 minutes ago. It looks like it's still downbursting a little bit as the storm does collapse. Given the reds and greens in opposite directions here, and the strongest of winds would be near Gagetown. This is likely moving more towards the strong category instead of severe category at the current time. We'll have to see if further development exists, but it does look like it is raining and hailing itself out. So good news there. Oh, I just lost Ryan. I think he went to go get that food. He says can confirm. So if there's any more additional severe warnings, I know who to blame. And there's a new statement. Right on time. This is a new special weather statement coming in for the same region. Go ahead and toggle 1, toggle 2, back and forth here. And it has not come in yet, so I'm going to have to read this off the phone. So this is just for the extreme and northeast corner of Tuscola County. This does include Gagetown and Cass City. Special weather statement issued till 5 p.m. Hazards here are going to be half-inch hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds. So they're, like we kind of mentioned here, they are downgrading from a warning to a statement. As we see, the storm is currently collapsing. It still has a long ways to go before it completely collapses, but it is still strong at the current time. If you know anyone in Gagetown or Cass City or anywhere in the thumb this afternoon, feel free to share this stream with them. Even if you don't know anyone, hitting that share button or the like button will help the algorithm out very much. Boost this to fellow Michiganders around the state. So severe thunderstorm warning continues for Huron County. This warning expires at 4:45 p.m. It's about 20 minutes on that, unless it gets canceled before. The storm is heading south into Gagetown and Cass City. And the extension on that is for a special weather statement for 50-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. So as a reminder, severe limits for hail are 1 inch in diameter and higher, and for winds it's 60 miles per hour. So this is still very close to severe limits with the new statement that has just come in. I don't know why it hasn't popped up yet. I'm still waiting for it to pop up. There we go. So this statement is 50 mile per hour winds, half-inch hail. So 60 mile per hour winds is the threshold. Technically it's 58, but they round up. And for hail, it is 1 inch in diameter, so it is halfway to severe hail. So still a very strong thunderstorm ongoing. You do want to be taking shelter if you are in Gagetown or Cass City this afternoon between now and 5 o'clock. The center of this cell, for those who are in this region, is still in Huron County. So it's between Owendale and Gagetown at the current time. Left side of the screen, your radar shows the intensity of the rainfall. And where the brighter, the hotter the colors are, that is the heavier the raindrops. So when you see these reds and pinks, those raindrops are pretty much the size of your thumb, maybe larger. And that core currently is on McAlpine Road near Gagetown Road. So it's about 2 or 3 miles to the north of Gagetown at the current time. We're starting to see some light rainfall in Gagetown. Light rainfall is denoted by your blues and greens. So Gagetown's kind of in that yellowish zone right now, so they're getting a little bit of moderate rain starting to fall, or going to be falling very shortly. If you're in Cass City, the edge of the rain is still just on the outskirts of town. Again, heaviest core there in the red. Right side of your screen, that is your velocity radar. That is the measurement of winds going to and fro. Radar site is located in Pontiac. So anything in red is winds moving away from that radar. So in this case, this cell is exhibiting some winds that are moving away from the radar. A lot of them, despite the fact the storm is moving off to the south, and a couple spots in green where this wind is heading to the south towards the radar site. Usually we use this radar for rotation, but in today's instance it looks like it's more of a downburst. I go down here to the Lapeer cell, Ryan, and it does appear in Lapeer, near Lapeer, that there's a tiny little hill core up around 25,000 feet near Lum to the northeast of Lapeer. And it currently is falling out. I could tell, given that our AI indicator here on the radar itself shows a 1 inch hail marker.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on that for the past 3 minutes or so, and looking at the 3D scan with height. It's got a nice core on it. It is building very quickly, so very good, healthy storm going up there in central Lapeer County. We'll keep an eye on that as well, just in case that also does become strong, perhaps severe. Wouldn't be shocked they put a statement on it here next couple of minutes. We'll have to keep an eye on that one for sure.
Hey, look at that. Instead of the next couple of minutes, it's the next couple of seconds.
We tend to do that quite a bit here. The statement is going to be for Central Lapeer County, wind gusts to 50 and half-inch hail. So they're going with 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well as half-inch hail. That's just north of our Valley Farms camera at Imlay City. I'll go ahead and pull that up here if I can find it. I got so many cameras I'm looking at here. There it is. Blue skies currently, but if that storm moves toward the camera, we'll go ahead and take the camera back. But for right now, blue skies. It's facing the wrong way, unfortunately. But if you take back the radar, if you go to Goodland, you zoom in there. Actually, it's basically just north of where it says Imlay City on that orange highway. It's right around there, yeah. Right about there. So it's basically right on the edge of this current storm. So if it expands further south or shifts in direction, we'll have a good view of it.
There we go. There's the statement box. So this little tan box here. The statement reads that it is nearly stationary, and the winds are 50 miles per hour, half-inch hail, as you mentioned. Locations impacted include North Branch, Lum, Attica, Goodland Township, and Kings Mill. Oh, it's West Branch. So North Branch is down here, West Branch is up there. That's very confusing because West Branch is further north than North Branch. Just found that interesting. So we are now up to 3 special weather statements and 1 severe thunderstorm warning this afternoon. Current time is 4:30, just rolled over. Current time is always going to be located down there at the bottom right of your screen along with the current date. And that's how you know if you're watching live or not. The delay is no more than 30 seconds. So if you are watching further than 30 seconds behind, feel free to hit the refresh and jump back in. Looks like we got a little bit of a wall cloud post from Bad Axe around 3:15 this afternoon, so about an hour ago. That was just shared in our group. I believe that's going to be I think it's our Michigan Storm Community post or group on Facebook. That word is sitting in the inbox for getting into the group. Julie just shared that. Thank you, Julie. On radar, all of this blue is not all rain. Some of this is ground clutter. A lot of it is ground clutter, especially around Oakland County, Livingston, Flint, closer to the ground, more likely to pick up on vegetation, evapotranspiration, got bugs. Sometimes the beam bends enough where you can see some human stuff, such as vehicles on highways. But today, I believe a lot of these blue lines heading to the north are going to be our agitated cumulus clouds. And with the agitated cumulus, showers and storms can form quickly from these storms. Or from these agitated cumulus, I should say. So this is not all rain. The only places you're really seeing rain right now around the radar site is the far northwest corner of Oakland County near Holly, Lapeer, Huron County, and then a far ways away from southeast Michigan up near Alpena and Presque Isle.
Want to mention as well for our viewers, since we're kind of in a bit of a quiet period here, there is a chance tonight for Northern Lights. We're kind of waiting on the arrival of the said solar storm, and those arrivals can always be a little finicky. This one, confidence is not very high, but there is a chance it could arrive sometime tonight. And if it's a more of a direct hit than we expect, it may give us some good views tonight, even with a bright moon and some thin wildfire smoke. So I'll point that out as well. We'll post updates as we get closer to sunset and after sunset. Would expecting to drop that warning in Huron County fairly soon. The storm is definitely has weakened out quite a bit since it's been warned. But regardless, that warning continues for 11 more minutes. It expires at 4:45 Eastern. It does continue for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. A couple statements in effect as well. Presque County for 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. Then also down here in the Lapeer County area, 50-mile-per-hour winds and what was it, half-inch hail? Half-inch hail.
Yep.
Should try and figure out a way to. Oh, I know what we can do. After the stream, obviously, but we should try and figure out a way if I can share two screens into the software, so I can have my radar on one and the cameras on other.
It's definitely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work out.
Unfortunately for those in Lapeer County, the storm is stationary, so it could result in a brief period of low-level flooding in the area. The storm continues to backbuild a little bit. Statement as a reminder is in effect till 5. It's got another half hour-ish on it. But it is tracking off to the east very, very, very slowly towards extreme northern St. Clair County. Also have an additional cell that has kind of worked its way up and split to the north near Marlette, and that is going to continue into southern Sanilac County as time goes on. So cell is splitting right now, kind of around Brown City as it continues off to the east. Yes, Bad Axe is getting slammed. They are no longer in a severe thunderstorm warning, but heavy downpours still on go for the next probably 5 to 10 minutes there, as the rain is now moving out of downtown very, very closely. Strongest of the storms has split to the south, riding the boundary south towards Gagetown, Cass City, as where the special weather statement is currently in effect, along with the severe thunderstorm warning. As a reminder, goes in effect till 4:45, so 9 more minutes now, if it doesn't get canceled sooner. Statement in effect till 5, so both of these statements in effect till 5, as well as the severe thunderstorm warning. There is, in the atmosphere, a tiny little bit of surface-based spin right along this storm that is currently warned. So kind of similar to what we saw in Deckerville. We'll have to keep an eye on this. Now at the current time, if we look over to base velocity, there's not a whole lot that's concerning in terms of rotation. But because that, if there is any rotation, it's going to show up below the radar beam, given that it is low-level spin. In fact, the latest scan, Brian, as soon as I said that,
Yeah.
a little bit of spin just popped up right over Gagetown. Again, being 5,000 feet above the ground, we can't see what's happening below 5,000 feet. And most of our spin right now is located below the 1 mile level in the atmosphere. So if there's anything that sneakily spins up, we likely will not be able to see much of it if it does. But again, with the topography out there, surface vorticity is kind of enhanced in this region of the state. Unfortunately, we do not have a radar that's close enough to get kind of down towards the lower elevations of the surface. So if you're in Gagetown, Cass City, and you're seeing something that resembles perhaps even stronger to severe weather, I definitely want to be taking your necessary precautions at the current time, because as a reminder, the beam height at this location is 5,000 feet off the ground.
Got a nice cumulus cloud trying to bubble up here on the apex cam, just south of Grand Blanc. You can kind of see it develop and bubble in real time if you look closely. Also on radar, there is a shower there that's trying to develop, so we'll keep an eye on that.
That would be right here. It's trying to sell it. Won't leave northwest Oakland County, in the vicinity of Holly and Fenton. Down to 6 minutes left on the severe warning, and 21 left on both of these statements.
I'm a little surprised they didn't cancel or expire it early.
It is moving pretty slow, just in case it's still downbursting out there. A tiny little bit of rotation over Gagetown. As a reminder, with the radar beam so far away, it's kind of want to be taking some necessary precautions here. Still strong storms, so respect the polygon. If you are inside of either the orange or the tan colored polygons here on your screen, you should be taking shelters. This is a strong to severe thunderstorm moving pretty much now due south as it rides the boundary and splits away from kind of the rest of the storms that are moving towards Harbor Beach and Port Hope. So riding up, kind of two cells, one's riding up M142 and one cell that's kind of riding down into the M81 corridor, heading straight south along and parallel to M53. Also have that statement in Lapeer County near Lum. That will also be heading towards M53. It is currently raining on M53, but that is more out in front of the stronger portion of this cell. As a reminder, the hotter the colors you see on your base reflectivity radar, which is currently shown, the heavier the rain. So rainfall rates of 1 inch per hour or greater, usually where there is the reds and the pinks. I wish you could send some rain to northern Kent County. We wish too. Unfortunately, we don't have the power to do that. If you guys caught our drought monitor post earlier this afternoon, Holland, Michigan specifically, is now in a D2 drought, which out of a scale from 0 to 4 is right in the middle. And that makes sense. They have only seen in the last month under 1 inch of rain. So that is very, very, very low compared to around 3 to 4 inches of rain they usually need per month in the summertime, especially when crops are growing at their peak. All of our posts, as always, can be found on our Facebook page, Michigan Storm Chasers. Closing in on 500K there. You can also follow us on X and Instagram, and really any other social media platform we can think of at the username MI Storm Chasers. But again, 100% of our posts will always be found on Facebook.
That warning has been expired.
I see. So good news there.
Time to eat.
It's still a strong storm, though. If you have any questions relating to today, feel free to comment in the chat. If you'd like to support with a super chat here on YouTube, feel free to do that as well. Anything helps, keeps these streams going for you guys 24/7 during all severe weather coverage. throughout the year. As a reminder for those who are new-ish or brand new here, we don't go away when severe weather is done for the season. Again, we are a Michigan-based company. We cover weather throughout the year, and we do chase storms in the winter, snowstorms that is. So feel free to follow along for our winter weather coverage as well this winter. We'll have our snow day, or not snow day predictions, but just gradual snow predictions for inches of snow for each system that comes through and on days of lake effect. It is always a more difficult thing to forecast. Nonetheless, we are here for you guys throughout the winter. Also, as a reminder, with our camera network, should go ahead and show the Apex Restoration Cam there. That is one of about 30 different cameras we have situated throughout the state right now, all of them in the Lower Peninsula. We're trying to get, there we go, Ryan will just put them all live. We're trying to get more into the Upper Peninsula, so if you are watching with the UP today, feel free to reach out if you have a camera location you would like to give. But we do have 30 cams, give or take. You can see all of them there on the screen. Camera overload in a way. If you'd like to become a part of our camera network, feel free to reach out, send us a message. Otherwise, we do have a 24/7 camera network coming with some of these cameras. Now, not every single location will be a 24/7 camera. However, think about, I don't know if Ryan, you want to elaborate on this more, but we do have 24/7 cameras coming. And we will have a YouTube channel designated for that in the future. For the time being, though, you'll want to follow us on YouTube for kind of like test streams and such. Again, our YouTube channel right now is MI Storm Chasers. We have a different YouTube channel coming soon for those 24/7 cameras. Ryan, if there's anything I'm missing, feel free to go ahead.
No, you hit pretty much everything.
Sweet.
Just gotta be patient. We went through a process of trying to figure out how to stream 20, 30 plus cameras all to one channel. So we had to figure a lot of things out. So it took some time, but we finally got to a point where we're confident we have a solution to do it. We got to test some stuff, obviously, but we're close.
Indeed. So again, if you would like to become a sponsor, here on YouTube, Julie dropped a link to fill out a jot form. Otherwise, hit up Ryan's email, ryan@michiganstormchasers.com. Go ahead and take a 3D slice of this Lapeer cell, which continues to stay suspended in the area. Decent core on this, up to about 22,000 feet. Perhaps some small hail falling there. The radar believes that hail could be close to an inch if it is falling. Not saying that it is. And the hail core up here near Gagetown also still suspended around 10 to 15,000 feet. Ground truth is needed, though, in these situations where they're out in rural portions of these counties, so feel free to let us know here in chat what you are seeing all the time. Is it Oobly, or is it pronounced differently?
Oh, it was Oobly.
That's what I thought too. Request for Oobly within the next hour. Oobly's kind of getting split right now. If you look at the looped radar, it actually is. It's getting split right down the middle. However, it looks like the cell, the southernmost cell, is doing its own split, and so we have another cell that's kind of forming off of it and pushing off to the east. So Oobly, watch out there for a second cell that's now forming. It is Ubly. It's UH. It's Ubly.
It'll always be Oobly to me.
I knew it was different because I remember this happened last time. It's Ubly. Like Pronounced like ugly. What are we implying here? Come on, guys. But yeah, we have a cell that is splitting. Currently some light rain falling in Ubly. We'll have to keep an eye on specifically this cell that I'm highlighting right now that has split off. Its current trajectory would be between Ubly and Bad Axe. And with any storm this afternoon, frequent cloudy ground lightning is possible, given how much instability we do have out there. Keep that in mind. Got Fire Up Chips in here in chat, becoming a member for month number 1 as an EF0 member, saying appreciate the hard work. Thank you very much, Fire Up and Fire Up Chips, CMU alum here. Appreciate your support of the channel. Welcome to the team for another month. If you'd like to also become part of the team as an honorary member, feel free to hit that join button here on YouTube. It's very interesting situation we got going on today. We got splits with our strongest of cells. So what's happening is we have a cell that's kind of rooted along the boundary, and cells that are not rooted are getting kind of split off of it. And so that's why we have all these cells that are getting continuously thrown across Huron County. And we're seeing the same process down here now in Lapeer County, where it threw off a cell up towards Brown City and Marlette. So we're going to kind of keep watching this happen throughout the day. It'll likely also happen if storms do pop up in the Upper Peninsula. They will happen up there as well today, which we do have a low-end severe risk highlighted for the UP. At the current time, nothing has popped up yet. So perhaps maybe nothing will happen up there today, but if cells do pop up, they'll likely exhibit the same behavior where they latch onto a boundary and kind of head straight south. Rain and sunshiny Marlette, thank you for that report. It's very interesting because the very edge of that cell is directly over downtown right now. Within a square mile of downtown Marlette, it's a very, very skinny cell, as you can see. About 2 square miles wide between Boyne Road and Caylette Road. It's one of the skinniest cells I've seen in a long time. If you're inside any of these polygons, those are special weather statements. The one for Presque-Isle County has expired. However, is there another cell popping up back there? It kind of looks like it. It indeed looks like there's another cell popping up. So if you're south of Hawks, heading towards Posen, in the vicinity of 634 Highway and County Road 451 in Presque-Isle County, watch out for a cell popping up there. Otherwise, as I was saying with my train of thought, if you're inside a polygon and you want to respect it, make sure you are sheltering indoors until this polygon expires or the storm passes, whichever one comes last. A lot of photos coming in from our Severe Thunderstorm Morning post from earlier here on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for sending in your videos and pictures. So there's a shelf cloud, a tiny little bit of a wall cloud. That does not surprise me at all. And a zoomed out photo of the entire cloud structure itself from Milwaukee looking east. So shout out to Caitlin, we have Braden and Jessica all in that chat, or in the comment section there. Thank you guys for those reports, appreciate them. Kind of gives us a glimpse of what's actually happening, whether or not this is going to stay strong or if it's going to back up towards severe. Watching from Harbor Beach, thank you for that report. We wish we had our camera there so we could watch along with you.
New SWS coming in, looks like, for Presque-Isle again.
Yep.
Wind gusts to 40 and half-inch hail.
It's like we saw that one coming. Oh yeah, a little bit of a hail core right there. directly over Huntley Road, I think near 634 Highway. I just said that. And that storm is up over 30,000 feet now. That storm is shooting up like a top. Look how red ZDR is on that one. That is blowing up quickly. Very positive, very large positive buoyancy. We also have a cell also blowing up rather quickly along the M65 corridor south of Lachine. This is in rural portions of Alpena County. That is heading off towards Alpena as well. It's kind of all forming along that boundary. See if there's
I can't help but notice. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna change topic. So finish what you're saying.
I was gonna say it's just all these cells have been forming on that lake breeze. I would not be surprised to see another statement pop up soon for Alpena County. That's where I was going with that thought. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, take my screen back. I just want to say it's very nice to see blue sky again, and not a white milky sky. But I also want to take note that the Aurora camera in Manistee looks pretty clear. So we might roll this tonight on a live stream for the Aurora chances. I think we may actually have a shot to see something. So skies are clearish for now.
I'm going to go ahead and look at the models have behind the scenes here, because I remember when I was making the forecast last night / this morning, there was a short fused MCS that was supposed to pop up tonight. Looks like
Don't ruin my hope, Joel.
Looks like HRRR no longer has that. It was more the RFS, so I'm curious to see. RFS still has it. So Muskegon north to about Ludington and over towards Cadillac. The short fused MCS that is likely overnight tonight. Good news, Ryan. As long as the Aurora doesn't start late, it looks like these cells will pop up as early as maybe 2 a.m. But peak timing for that's going to be 4 to 9 in the morning.
Well, we'll cross our fingers. That's all I can really do at this point.
Drew's in chat here says, "So you're telling me Ryan to blast north? LOL. We won't stop you." That Aurora cam was atop the Hampton Inn riverfront or beachfront in Manistee. Right there on the beach.
We have actually several Aurora cameras installed now across the state. Just want to point that out. So we're going to have, most of them are downstate, but we have a couple up. We have one near Stanwood now, which faces the northeast sky. Pull these up here. I know you guys are. You have my screen up. Put the pressure on me for a second.
I do now. Unless you want me to take you off again.
Nah, we had the Manistee camera, which is the original Aurora camera, and probably the one we're going to stream tonight. We also have the Aurora camera here in Grand Blanc. That has a shot to see something tonight as well. We have one down in Hudson, way down further south in the Ohio border area, courtesy of Raptor Industries. We also have one of our newest cameras. We have not announced this one yet, but it was installed a couple days ago in Paw Paw. This is also an Aurora camera facing to the northwest, courtesy of Great Lakes Pondscapes. They're on Red Arrow Highway outside of Paw Paw. And we also have Safety Classes USA and Three Rivers facing west, but also if it pushes far enough south, we could get a view on one of these cameras as well. And then we also have Stanwood Market. This is facing northeast, so this could also get a good shot of it tonight. So we have a couple options to kind of go off for the evening. We also have another newest camera installed via Jessica Massey State Farm in Niles. So one of the very far southern Michigan cameras again. This is also an Aurora camera, faces north and west. So several options now.
any avalanche danger at Boyne Mountain today. It's so funny. No, there is not. Curious to see what these next scans show, because there's still a little bit of very broad, weak rotation between Gagetown and Cass City. This does look like a little bit of a supercell. It does have that shape to it, but the winds themselves are kind of displaced from the center of that cell. So that's a good sign, given, or that would be a good sign for non-rotating, or no rotation. So this is more of, I believe, just a meso that's rotating itself and not close to the ground. But again, funky things can happen when you are surrounded by when you're in a peninsula with a lot of surface vorticity out there and a lot of 3 Cape as well, so low level instability. So keep that in mind. The hail core on this is still up to about 20,000 feet.
Speaking of 20,000 feet, take my screen. We have a distant view of what I believe are the storms up in Lapeer County on the Dearborn camera.
Oh, wow.
That is a nice anvil there on the right side of your screen. That is a beautiful anvil cloud. I have to imagine that is in Lapeer County. That's the closest storm that would be that tall.
The radar depicts that storm up at 39,000 feet.
That would make a lot of sense then. And
higher.
just for reference, that is roughly
It's actually higher
60 miles away.
From the Grand Rapids radar, it says 40 to 43,000 feet.
It's up there a ways.
The cell near Gagetown and Cass City is a supercell up at around 45 to 50,000 feet. That's one strong storm. The statements all of the statements have expired besides the one in Presque Isle. Since we have now just hit 5 o'clock, I would not be surprised if they issue another warning soon.
Looks like we're getting a report. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Looks like there's a report coming in from Huron County of 1-inch hail that occurred about an hour ago at 4 p.m. That's via the IEM bot from Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Law enforcement reports hail of quarter size.
Right there. 2 miles outside of Owendale. To the east. That would verify what we were seeing on radar. Red Dozier back in chat with the $20 super chat here on YouTube saying, hello everyone, just came in from watering. This weather blows. Thank you very much, Red. Dealing with a little bit of the drought over there on the west side of the state. Appreciate you for dropping by, supporting us as always, and hopefully the garden is going well, despite all of that drought out there. The cell has skyrocketed back up, Ryan. 30,000 feet on the hail core once again.
On the what storm?
The Cass City cell. And ZDR says that is not collapsing, so that is just increasing once again.
Yeah, it's cycling back and forth, looks like.
Yep.
Moving very slowly.
We have a little bit of a merger, perhaps, as well. Tiny little cell just popped up over M53 between Kingston and Snover to the north-ish. We'll have to watch and see what that cell does. It's a tiny little rain shower, but that can have significant impact on what happens in terms of spin within the atmosphere. Curious to see what satellite shows. Wow, that is quite the impressive supercell on satellite. Have you seen that yet, Ryan?
No, I haven't.
Let's see if I can pull it up here on the stream. There we go. So there it is, blowing up on the east side of the state. That is one very, very large and tall storm. That entire cloud deck is getting caught up in the jet stream, blowing off all the way across Lake Huron and making its way over to Ontario on the Huron side of the lake. So that is a very tall storm. You can also see the Lapeer cell also has a very tall cloud top on it as well, and that is likely what we were seeing from Orion's Dearborn cam. So we have two little cells that are not so little, producing cloud tops of over 50,000 feet in some locations. Primarily a storm that is in Huron County now, bubbling down into Tuscola and eventually Cass County.
Say Cass County.
Tuscola and Sanilac County, excuse me. Cass City is what I was trying to say. Yeah. We'll go back to the debate on county seats being the new county names again.
Further downstate, I see a lot of questions popping in here for cities and such, but currently across the state, where 90% of you are probably dry right now. There's a few areas getting showers and some storms, primarily. There's an area up in the northern lower peninsula up by Prisk Eel near Belknap. Also got a couple showers down in, that's Alpena County, just south of Spratt. Also got a shower just east of Gaylord over there too. Localized in nature. Not severe up there. In fact, there's no severe storms in the state currently. Up in the UP in Alger County, we have a couple showers that are impacting areas in Alger County. A heavier storm over Lake Superior just north of Munising there. And that's pretty much it in the UP and northern lower. The west side of Michigan down in the Grand Rapids region, all the way up to Traverse City, Manistee, Cadillac, down to the Indiana border. You guys are dry in nature. Nothing on radar. And over on the east side, just got a couple showers and storms ongoing, the heaviest of which is currently about to impact Cass City in Tuscola County. Get me confused on county names now. Also got a heavier storm down here in Lapeer County as well. Otherwise, that's about it. Pop-ups are possible across much of the entire state today. But the good news is we are at peak heating right now, so what you see on radar is likely going to be about the most coverage we're going to see throughout the day, I would have to assume.
Usually here at MSC we are live from beginning to end for all severe weather. Currently we are kind of at the end. However, we're, at least in my opinion, kind of waiting to see what the cell that is currently in Tuscola County does. And they are optioning for a statement.
Yeah, not surprised by that at all. 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail.
Wait for that box to pop in. There it is. So we are in this tan box now. That is the new special weather statement. As Ryan mentioned, 40-mile-per-hour winds, half-inch hail, and is moving off to the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Includes locations such as Cass City, Argyle, Gagetown, Ellington, Deford, and New Greenleaf. Primarily over portions of M53 near M81. And the edge of that box kind of goes parallel along M19 in Sanilac County. So, you know, anyone in this tan box, as always, feel free to share this information with them. It's a strong thunderstorm, not severe. 40-mile-per-hour winds can bring down a couple loose branches, some dead trees. And with a half-inch hail possible, could cause the ground to look like snow out there if there's enough of it. But very light damage in terms of hail damage.
You know, if I'm wrong, correct me, but we can actually get traces, official traces of snow in summertime if enough hail falls.
That is correct. That is what the National Weather Service does do in some instances. If hail accumulates to a point where the ground is covered, that is a trace of snow because it is frozen precipitation. So we've seen that a couple times. Usually it's out in, you know, places that do see a lot of hail during the summer, such as the high plains. I know a lot of places in Texas sometimes get copious amounts of hail that build up, but here in Michigan we can see it too, if the conditions are right. Yes, the cell is eventually heading down towards Sandusky. It's moving at 10 miles per hour, so it'll be there in forever. It'll take a long time. 10 miles per hour is very slow, and it is pretty much just riding a boundary to the south. But other cells are popping up out in front of it. Just keep that in mind. We have a cell that is coming up from Marlette, not currently strong or severe, but that is heading directly for Sandusky as well. So cells that are splitting in multiple directions this afternoon. One coming up from the southeast, one coming up from the southwest, excuse me, and one coming down from the northwest. So the S word. So Julie's saying we have to pay up and put some money in the swear jar, Ryan. How do you feel about that? He leaves. Look what you've done, Julie. Still some very displaced broad rotation ongoing to the west of Cass City near Milligan Road and Dodge Road, about 2 or 3 miles to the west northwest of town. Not too much to be concerned about. Again, displaced means a little bit off to the left of the center of the cell, so not right in the center of the meso, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. There's a little bit of a low-level rotation out there today that is kind of underneath the radar beam. So we'll keep monitoring this like a hawk for any further stronger, quick, strong, brief spin-up tornadoes, if that makes any sense. Cell down in Lapeer County is more of a heavy rain shower now. That kind of is the same story from Marlette over towards Sandusky. Kind of rained itself out. And again, the atmosphere kind of works like a gas station where you use up all your fuel, and these storms become a lot harder to become strong and severe. You need the storm fuel for these storms to become strong and severe. When a storm sits over the same location, it uses all that fuel to just make rain, essentially. Strong downpours. But essentially uses it all up if it stays over the same location. So Lapeer County is kind of what we would call an overworked atmosphere at the current time. We would need more daytime heat to kind of filter back in after these showers dissipate. But as we get closer to sunset, our peak heating hours go away, which, again, peak heating is around 3 to 5 in the afternoon. We are now at 5:13. And so our instability is going to start dwindling as we get towards sunset. But at the current time, there's a lot of instability out there for the cell to the north. So there hasn't really been any cells that have popped up out there today until now. Go check back in up north. I was watching in from northeast Michigan. It's probably a good thing we did. Nice little core popping up on our cell outside of Alpena. That could get a statement very soon. Rotation on that not really existent, so this would be more in the way of some large hail, and because the winds are also not showing up here, that would likely be the only hazard. Radar depicts that there could be some 1-inch hail falling very shortly near Napers Road at Wegmeyer Road. And this is southwest of Alpena, south of Lachine, so rural portions of Alpena County. The brighter the reds and turning into pinks and whites, the larger the raindrops, and in this case, rain changing to hail. The bigger the raindrops, the more likely to become supercooled liquid, form into hail, especially at higher heights. As you get higher up in the atmosphere, the colder the temperature becomes. Let's keep an eye on that cell in Alpena County. Lapeer, meanwhile, not so much. Only concern for eastern Michigan right now, downstate, would be Cass City. The storm just continues to crawl. Not a whole lot we can really talk about other than the roads it's currently over as each scan comes in, which, by the way, these scans are coming in at 5 minutes apiece, and the fact that they're not moving goes to show you that 5 to 50 mile per hour speed is verifying very much. Go ahead and look at some behind the scenes here. Still a little bit of low-level rotation, or low-level spin in the atmosphere. Storm relative helicity, not a whole lot. It's very, very minuscule. There's a lot of instability out there. A lot of storm fuel. There's that anvil from Dearborn. So Ryan expands out there. I mean, I don't know how far away that actually is, but that could easily be our storm all the way to the north too.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. Measuring from the first storm to the camera is roughly about 56 miles. To that storm way up in Sanilac and Tuscola, it's about 90 miles. Also a new SWS coming in. Alpena County. 40 in P's.
That was that cell I was just mentioning about 5 minutes ago now. A lot of that pink was showing up, and that core is now up to 21,000 feet as well. Now it's heading right into downtown Alpena. As Ryan mentioned, it is 40 mile per hour winds and pea-sized tail moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. It includes locations such as Alpena, Cathro, Lakewood, and Devil's Lake. Primarily rural portions of Alpena County besides Alpena itself. So a duo of the special weather statements now in northeast lower, primarily for the risk of some hail and perhaps 40 mile per hour winds. Cell continues to slowly move off to the northeast. As a reminder, these cells in northern Michigan going a little bit quicker than the counterparts downstate. About 5 to 15 downstate, about 25 miles per hour up north. So two different speeds depending on the speeds of the boundaries. It feels like the cell in Cass City has just sat there forever. I see something about how there's been torrential rainfall that's been picked up in Cass City area. Curious to see how much has fallen behind the scenes. Oh wow. Storm total accumulation. Between Gagetown and Owendale, radar depicts between 3 and 4 inches of rain have fallen in the last 90 minutes. So that is there any flood advisories on that, Ryan?
Nope, not at all.
Interesting. Yeah, very isolated pocket of 3 to 4 inches of rain between Owendale and Gagetown in far southwest, southern Huron County, northeast corner of Tuscola County. That cell, again, is moving 5 miles per hour with rainfall rates that are over an inch per hour. That is easily going to cause some flooding concerns. Couple pockets of perhaps 2+ inches of rain near Bad Axe north to Kind in central Huron County as well. Cell in Lapeer has also dumped a lot of rain. Let us know northeast of Lapeer. It looks like there is a core here. First off, MPing report from about 20 minutes ago says half-inch hail fell. Radar depicts between 2 to 3.5 inches of rain have fallen there so far now in central Lapeer County as well. Ryan, I'm not sure if you want to verify that with radar Omega. I'm looking at radar scope, and that's what I'm seeing there. But if you had, because I actually don't have rainfall on GR2, but I know you have it on radar Omega if you wanted to show anybody what we were talking about here.
Yeah, it's about 3 and 4 inches is what I'm seeing.
Gotcha.
And yeah, primarily Owendale over to Gagetown, stopping just short of Cass City, but it's still raining, so.
Yeah.
Cass City about to get probably 1 inch or 2 of rain, I have to imagine.
Clara in chat says hail in Cass City right now. Thank Clara. Let us know the size of that hail estimate, if it is safe to do so. Obviously, you want to be away from windows. If it is very large, I do appreciate the report. Also, if you would like to report the hail on an app, we usually use this app during the winter time, but in the summer you can use it too to report hail size. It is called MPing. It's free to download on the App Store. MPING. Ping is in all caps, by the way. And you can go ahead and submit your hail size on that, and that will be sent into the National Weather Service as well. Go quickly back up to our cells that are heading towards Alpena. Kind of a train of cells across Otsego to Montmorency to Presque Isle County, and then there's one cell that's kind of just popped up in central Alpena County. Both of these, as a reminder, producing quarter inch to half-inch sized hail, as well as perhaps 40 mile per hour winds. So nothing severe. And we are still watching some cells trying to pump up on a backwards moving boundary in Alger County in the UP. Currently, there's a strong cell offshore on Lake Superior. Otherwise, main concern right now is this very strong storm that's currently in Cass City now. The loop just goes to show you how much this hasn't moved. Satellite view from above also shows how stationary this cell has moved as well. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right now just as a reminder what it looks like from above. Get it up here. There we go. There's satellite view from southern central Michigan. Very, very tall cloud tops moving through the thumb at the current time. Every tiny little popcorn you see on there is a cumulus cloud. There's a lot of them out there today. And you can also tell where that lake breeze is at across West Michigan, where it is very clear for Ottawa, Muskegon, Oceana, Mason, up towards Manistee and Benzie counties. Inland, away from that lake breeze, instability is able to kind of break through that cap ever so slightly to produce some widespread partly cloudy skies with cumulus clouds. Now on Ryan's camera network, if you zoom out, you can see just how widespread those cumulus clouds are out there today. So there's a lot of them.
Latest scan off of Cassett for Cass City has a little bit of what I believe to be rotation.
I mean, it is a decent meso, and that latest scan off DTX also shows or hints at perhaps that meso trying to come together. Now we have a merger moving in and combining with the main cell. So keep an eye on it. It's a little displaced though, Ryan. Could be some clear air. At least from DTX. But from Cassett, I don't have that. Definitely something we want to keep an eye out for. Claire says 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch in Cass City. Thank you very much for that report. If you have a picture as well here, if it is safe to do so, feel free to post it in the comments section here on Facebook. Not of our stream, but for a separate post. We'll feel free to forward that to the National Weather Service Detroit. So we'll take any and all reports to kind of keep these statements and warnings flowing throughout the evening. So if we don't have verification, it's kind of hard to warn, if that makes any sense. Or statement. Some days, Ryan, we do wish we could be in every location at once, but until they figure out how to clone people, that is not possible. Quite a story out there today for the cell. The new statements coming in. Looks like they have bumped up from 40 NPs to 50 and 1/2 inch hail as the cell continues to slide off to the south. flip back and forth between the radar sites just to get that statement box popped in. And it's basically over top of the first one. So the first one was for 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. So they bumped up the wind speed. 50-mile-per-hour winds, half-inch hail. And it is now moving at 5 miles per hour once again, down from 10. So either way, it's basically walking pace or light jog. So theoretically, you could outrun it. I'm not saying you should, but it is possible. I am starving. This does appear to be undergoing a second merge. Now, we could see a warning pop in any second. The National Weather Service Detroit is indicating that these winds are now increasing. Unfortunately, we're still getting 5-minute scans on this cell, which makes sense because of how slow it's moving. But, you know, in the instance of perhaps a quick spin up, the rotation's not going to pop up. It's going to be too late, essentially, by the time they see anything. Very nice comment here from Brick on YouTube. You guys have been a lifesaver this summer with weather updates. I think I've told you all that I'm a driver education instructor. My students love your show. We stream it in the car when the weather looks bad. Thank you very much, Brick. It means a lot to us. And we will always be here in the instance of inclement weather. So keep those streams going. Anything to add on at the moment here, Ryan?
Not at this time.
Other than the fact we're watching a merger in process.
See what happens. Also want to point out there is a hefty looking cell moving into Alpena very soon.
Yeah, the one that's statemented.
Mm-hmm.
That could get a warning easily. Let's see what the cell is on this, or the hail core is in this one. Hail core up to about 16,000 feet, not too crazy. But when the cell starts to bow out a little bit like that, you can't rule out a quick downburst. So, same is good for now, but we'll keep an eye on it. 40-mile-per-hour winds and a pea-sized hail. Kind of in the middle of something, Hurricane. Thank you for interrupting. No, it's okay. Got a cat interruption. Thank you. He was so excited to see me. Go duo box on this bad boy. This is quite the cell it's developing now. This is Tuscola and Sanilac County in the thumb, for those who are not familiar. We're in lower eastern Michigan. We are also concerned for perhaps some flooding, maybe a low-end flash flooding threat now, primarily for Lapeer County, where according to the radar, 4 inches of rain have fallen. And we're kind of seeing that instance up here as well near Cass City and Gagetown. As that cell is also moving at 5 miles per hour with rainfall rates of 1 inch or 2 per hour. And we have been live for about 1 hour and 42 minutes now, so it just goes to show you that these cells have not moved a whole lot in that time. But currently no severe alerts ongoing anywhere in the state of Michigan. Just a couple statements. One for Alpena and one for Tuscola and Sanilac counties. Watching them very closely if they do become severe. So these cells do have erratic motion on them. They could produce brief gusty winds, and severe winds, by the way, is 60 miles per hour for those who may not know. Technically 58, but they do round up. These are really the only spots in Michigan with strong cells at the current time. So again, it's the thumb in northeast lower. There was a cell or two riding along Lake Superior coastline near Alger County. Other than that, it's pretty much limited to Lapeer, Montmorency, and Presque Isle counties in northeast lower. And down here in the thumb, got Tuscola, Sanilac, Lapeer counties. That's it. Got about 6 or 7 counties only. Given that we are not in severe ops, there's not a whole lot to talk about other than we're just continuing to monitor this cell primarily in Sanilac and Tuscola counties around the county line near M80 at M81 near M53, which is Van Dyke. Also the cell rolling into Alpena counties. You can see both of them if we zoom out. Separate locations. So far, I've had a couple 1-inch hail reports this afternoon. That's it. Our live shot of our entire camera network there. All 30-ish cameras showing non-hazy and partly cloudy skies for much of the state.
I have an update, actually. Leave it here.
Go ahead.
Look who's back with us. Harbor Beach is back online after a prolonged outage. And now I go back to about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and see what we can find.
Does it still record when it's offline?
Yes.
Very cool.
Nothing too spectacular on that.
Yeah. That's because this main cell split went south. Alpena, if you're in Alpena, this cell is now on your doorstep. Traveling right on down Hillman Alpena Trail. About a minute and a half from downtown. Power, you guys are reporting power loss in Osneek from the cell, potentially, for a quick minute. Very interesting. Thank you, guys. Base velocity does show, it looks a little downbursty on both sides of the storm. Would validate the 40-mile-per-hour wind portion of the special weather statement. Now, if you're in Alpena, let us know how the hail situation is looking as well. If it is safe to do so, of course. Number one thing to do right now is to take shelter inside, away from any exterior walls, as winds come crashing down from these downbursts. Alpena had lost power also. How recently? Feel free to let us know. Just a few minutes ago, no rain or hail yet. Got it. We'll say downburst winds can occur out in front of a thunderstorm. It kind of comes down like a boot. So if you can imagine a thunderstorm, and then the winds come crashing down, and they spread out in all directions from the center of a thunderstorm. So they can extend beyond where the rain is falling. So that could be the instance of why power was lost up there. It's a little far from radar, but it does look like there is a little bit of a downburst ongoing, heading right down the Hillman Alpena Trail. So we'll not be surprised if a couple isolated power outages are coming in and validating from these gusty winds. Yes, I am all caught up. All our dancing is caught up. Next milestone here on YouTube is 65K. You have something to say there, Ryan?
Yeah, I was going to say, while we're kind of in a downswing here, we can always do our sponsors.
That's true. Got all of them here. I'm going to go ahead and loop both of these cells while we go ahead and read through these here. So again, what we do here at MSC is not free. We have sponsors that help cover the costs, and we call them our trusted partners for a reason. They are vetted, they have insurance, and so when in times of need for exterior work, insurance adjustment needs, etc., can turn to these following businesses that we'll go ahead and read off right now. Starting off with our longest standing sponsor, that would be Storm Guard Roofing Construction. Been around since very early days here at MSC. Numbers there on your screen. Again, all the numbers can be found on your screen. They're always scrolling across the top, but they will also be available here on the side panel as well. Lifestyle Exteriors, based out of Central Michigan from Lansing to Traverse City. For our premier sponsor of the day, Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing, Potterville. Pro Powder, for all your powder coating needs, based out of South Haven, Michigan. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based out of Sanilac and St. Clair counties. McKay Tree Specialists, based out of all of Southeast Michigan, for all of your tree care needs there. Similarly, for tree care needs in West Michigan, you can contact Kuiper Tree Care. For all of your barndominium needs across the Lower Peninsula, turn to FBI Buildings. All your roofing needs in Livingston County, On Top Roofing. For all of your commercial roofing in Lansing, Schneider Commercial Building Solutions. And for all of your insurance adjustment needs, Shield Public Adjusters. Also have Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, based out of West Michigan. A-Class Construction and Restoration, based out of Mason County, near Ludington. Based out of Kent County, Rainbow Restoration. For all of your LTE wireless communication needs, turn to Rapid Radios. It is our trusted partner here for all Chasen communications at MSC. For all of your security camera needs, turn to Guardian, based out of Burton, Michigan. Also our host for our Skynet cams across the state of Michigan. Feel free to support the Ronald McDonald House of Detroit. Help families in need find the comfort they deserve in times of sickness. Got American Arbor, one of our newer sponsors here at MSC. Full of your tree damage needs in Southwest Michigan. And finally, we have our newest sponsor, Apex Restoration. Not only do they sponsor a camera, but they are a sponsor here all around here at MSC for any water, mold, or fire damage anywhere in the thumb. Based out of Grand Blanc, I presume. It's the same building there. Am I right, Ryan?
That is correct.
There we go. And those are all of our sponsors here at MSC, trusted partners. Feel free to contact those numbers on your screen as they were rolling across. They're always going to be looping up here at the top if you missed them. Otherwise, you can go ahead and pause the stream and head back and take a screenshot. So thank you very much to our sponsors / trusted partners for all you do to support MSC and our operations. Looks like our special weather statement for Alpena has expired. It is now 5:45 there. The one for the thumb continues for 50-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail until 6 p.m. The cell that won't quit, with cloud tops between 40 and 50,000 feet. Also want to quickly shout out our mods here in chat. Hearts to you guys. Thank you guys so much for moderating today, and as always, for all of our streams throughout the state, 365 days a year. You guys are very much appreciated, even on our slower days like today. Thank you guys very much. It's just one cell we're watching out for out here, and this is heading off to the southeast towards Sandusky, Michigan, not Sandusky, Ohio. People do get that confused sometimes. We do have a Sandusky here in Michigan in the thumb. That's what I'm calling it now, Ryan. The cell that won't quit. Technically not in severe ops, but as soon as we start rolling the outro, you know what's going to happen. You can shake your head in agreement with me. You know exactly what's going to happen. Chance for storms in West Michigan. They were never likely today. On our severe weather outlook, however, I did mention the fact that there could be some overnight storms primarily after midnight tonight, and that is due to a short-fused MCS that will pop up kind of in the vicinity of Central Lake Michigan and maybe last for 4 to 5 hours, bringing some much-needed rain, and maybe that's it. perhaps maybe some thunder and lightning as well. But an MCS that's pretty much rain-based for West Michigan, primarily north of Grand Haven and Grand Rapids. That has shown up on models over the last 36 hours continuously, and so we are monitoring that overnight tonight. So it could be a late night for us, we'll see. Again, that's another reason why I'm kind of debating if we should take a break or not, because if we're up late tonight, it could be an issue for tomorrow.
Yeah, we should definitely take a break.
I'm going to go ahead and check the hail core on this real quick. Oh, gosh. 31,000 feet, Ryan.
Yeah. I've been really contemplating asking to end this, but it's like borderline, could get a warning anytime.
Yeah.
It's hard to really shut the stream down when there's potential this could go severe at any moment. I just figured something out with my Radar Omega.
Oh, yeah?
And it's pretty cool.
What's that?
So, take my screen.
Yeah.
Like, what? I didn't realize it could do this. There's your hail tracker as the storm pushes off toward M53 and M46. And there is your storm total rainfall. As you can see, there's a nice band up between Cass City and about Elkton or so, Owendale, Gagetown, which had roughly 3 to 4 inches of rain and low. Inch and a half or so. The storm is moving very slowly off to the south and east, so it will continue to drop a lot of rain as long as it hangs out and stays strong in nature. 46,000 feet looks like the current height on that storm. Not seeing much in the way of rotation with it.
Really kind of, on GR2, the 3D scan kind of shows all of it. I like the 3D scan on GR2 better, in my opinion, but...
Yeah. Nice storm heading into Alpena at the current moment. Looks like the heaviest of it's off just to the west and a bit north of town.
Was previously statemented. Looks like a lot of lightning still falling, or still occurring there, though, according to your radar.
Does lightning fall?
It actually strikes from the ground up. In some instances. Please don't add that to the dictionary. Lightning falling. Stop it now. Yeah, that core is very much still alive and well in that storm for Cass City. Next city up to bat for the South continues would be Snover. I feel like we mentioned Sandusky like an hour ago now, and it still hasn't moved there.
Yeah, it's not even close to Sandusky, truthfully.
Long
New
ways away.
SWS for Alpena. They're going 40 and pennies up there, so we're getting closer to severe, just not quite. It's going to be 40-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. It's going to be for Alpena, US 23, Lakewood, Rockport, Ashland, and the lakeshore areas of Alpena County. Primarily north of Alpena. Same is going to be in effect for 36 minutes, puts us at 6:30 p.m. for an expiration time.
Do you want to get that statement posted, or you want me to?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
Got an inbox here, or a message from Sherry with a picture of that storm. Looks like there's a nice shelf guy with it.
Are you talking about the Alpena storm?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, core, that's about 22,000, 23,000 feet for hail. They're quite a ways. Ryan's audio is low. Is that true? Try speaking, Ryan.
Hello?
You are a little low. Let me turn you up on my end. Try now.
Hello?
There we go. Sometimes I need a reminder here in chat, because on my end it sounds perfect, but I always have to look at the yellow and the green bar in our audio mixer to see if it's actually, truly up and hearable. But we're down in the greens.
Hearable?
Yes.
Hearable.
Yep. Add that to the dictionary.
Hey Siri. Is
Stop it.
hearable a word?
Stop it.
Here's an answer from the...
No, it's not.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to turn off my camera. You can lead the stream. How about that?
It's actually a word. It's an adjective.
Oh, perfect. No, you're right, Ryan. The core of the cell looks like it just skirted around downtown. It's still going to be moderate to heavy rain in downtown, but that hail core itself tracking right down Hamilton Road at the intersection of Hamilton and French. It'll be crossing over US 23 about a mile or two north of downtown. A little bit of a third body scatter spike on that one. VIL shows the core itself, and by a mile outside of downtown, we really mean it. This is just skirting through on the north side. So passing between Alpena and Rockport. There's our core, still south of Cass City. The statement expires at 6, which is in a minute. Depending on what they do in the next 5 minutes, Ryan, if they don't, if like the next thing is a statement or no extension, I think we would be probably good to pop off for now. Wait and see.
Yeah, the on my end has reduced significantly, so
Yeah.
I think we're at a point where it's a downtrend, and I don't think it's worth staying on here. So
Yeah. Expiring in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. There it goes. It is expired.
for now.
For now. The cell has greatly reduced in size too.
Yeah, Alpena is with a statement right now as well. Good storm up there. Penny-sized hail and 40-mile-per-hour winds. Honestly, Joel, not gonna be surprised if they up that into a warning soon for Alpena. Looks like there's a good downburst going on.
Can't escape. Yeah, there's a nice core on that, and as you mentioned, a little bit of a downburst. Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very subtle on radar, but I bet you there's probably a good burst of wind with that. It may not be severe, but it's definitely gusty. Alpena downtown, if you live in Alpena, the worst of it is to your north, so you're not going to get the worst of it. So if you happen to be in Alpena, I think I see a couple comments in here. Kayla saying Alpena resident. It's thundering here now. So yeah, the worst of it's actually to your north if you actually live in Alpena proper.
All right, where these reds and greens get very bright. That's kind of your downburst core. So very close to downtown, but moving off to the north, as Ryan mentioned. Isolated power outage is likely. Wessel Road, kind of backtracking towards, what do we got out here? Lake Winya Road and Long Rapids Road as well. So they're all outside of Alpena, primarily northish to southish roads. 2 miles, 1 to 2 miles outside of town. So let us know what you guys are seeing out there. Make sure safety is #1 key. If it's safe to do so, send in your damage reports as they come in. Speaking of which, we might have just had one come in through Messenger, Ryan. I see, is that US 23? 23 north. US 23 goes along the entire eastern side of Michigan, so I imagine that's probably Alpena cell. There's a lot of pink though, holy cow. For those that are new here, might not know radar as well as we do. Again, the pink is your heaviest of rain. Well, technically red, but pink is when it starts to get really, really large drops. And when you get these really large drops, they're more susceptible to supercooled freezing, turning into ice. And that ice eventually makes hailstones. We have a lot of that pink out there, and some of those pinks are actually turning to blacks, which would be up towards 70 dBz. So we'll have to keep an eye on this cell specifically for a short-lived severe thunderstorm warning, perhaps for extreme northeastern Alpena County. Nevertheless, this is a special weather statement, so it is a strong storm with winds of 40 and penny-sized hail. So if you are inside of this polygon, this tan little box here, you do want to be taking that seriously, be taking shelter indoors away from any exterior walls where trees could fall and hail can break in through windows. Not only do we have this cell, but there's a line of training cells behind it from Lachine over to Hillman and in towards Atlanta. Pretty much all up and down the M32 corridor this afternoon. If you go north and south, not really a whole lot of action out there. A couple tiny little showers in Alpena and Iosco counties, but nowhere near the intensity of what we're seeing here in Alpena.
Well, Joel, I think we're probably good to end this thing.
You would think. I will say that the cloud tops are going down a little bit, so that storm could be on its way out. ZDR shows it's still a hot storm. But I feel like if they would have warned it, they should have done so by now. Cores are now down underneath 20,000 feet. Looks like it's pretty much collapsing now. Despite the fact that ZDR says it's still in a strong updraft, it'll be impacting portions of rural eastern Alpena County, just south of Rockport. So, yeah, I think we could probably hop off for now, come back live. Done that before, where we jump off and then 2 minutes later it goes severe warned again, so you know that'll probably
I'm used
happen.
to that.
Yeah, it's happened before. Well, it might happen again. We'll see. The cells down here in eastern Michigan, Lapeer, St. Alex, Tuscola counties, also a light rain shower in the north portion of Oakland County, do not appear to be anywhere near severe at the current time. We'll keep an eye on those as well. Other than that, I think we'll head off. Ryan, is there anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Okay. Again, feel free to join us later for more live coverage if needed. As always, we are live on 4 different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV. Our username on all of those are MI Storm Chasers, or just type in Michigan Storm Chasers and you'll find us fairly easily. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma, alongside President Ryan, and we are Michigan Storm Chasers signing off for now. If it happens to go warned during our outro, we'll just pop right back in. Otherwise, we'll catch you later for maybe part 2. And if not, later tonight, later this weekend, for more severe weather coverage as strong severe storms are possible. So, have a great night, everyone. Maybe see you soon. Maybe see you later.